Hey guys, happy Friday. I'm popping in here on Labor Day weekend here in the US, getting ready for a bit of a long weekend and the final one before back to school here in our house. And actually, quite appropriately today, in just a few minutes, actually, I'm heading to university for my college daughter's year 2, her first volleyball game of the season. So very excited to be seeing her for the first time in a couple of weeks and to kind of get that school spirit going. I wanted to introduce to you, close out our August Sharecast, introduce the September one, and pick us a couple of cards as we go into the weekend and share a little bit about this really powerful theme that's come in to usher us into eclipse season and equinox and all of the shifts and changes that we have coming up here. So you will see, if you have not already, that the September Empowerment Sharecast is live. That is, of course, my free space that is tucked away from the noise of social media, where I share my empowered tarot and oracle card readings and other spiritual musings, and invite you to come along and just observe, participate to whatever extent you feel called. I offer, of course, the free card pulls and such over there, and we'll be sharing about all of the comprehensive offerings for this month. So wanted to definitely get in here in the 11th hour before the end of August, because anyone who books anything before September 1st will also be entered into the birthday giveaway. So as you know, I've been running the giveaway for my birthday month, August, and the 5-year anniversary of Grow in the Flow. We're going to have a 5 prize giveaway. I'll be doing the drawing in September. I will likely be coming back here to this space to record that giveaway, since everyone here in the Sharecast for August automatically received 3 entries into the giveaway, in addition to other ways that you were able to increase the entries in there, such as following on my social media spaces, sending a review if we've ever worked together, all much appreciated. And then, of course, the main way that you can have additional entries is when we work together comprehensively. When you book with me for September, before September 1st, you will receive an entry, and we've got the Empowerment Pack kicking off, which is my big custom offering that I do signature every month, with the month ahead reading, where we get into all of the astrological weather for this month, the intuitive channeled words that we're playing off of here, and more. So then we also get into your personal month ahead energies, and we have 2 additional readings for the big lunations this month, eclipses. So much to get into there, but there's many other ways we can work together with the more entry-level basic reading. I have special custom seasonal readings for Chiron retrograde right now. Also, a very popular one, and especially if you're already with me for the Empowerment Pack in September, you get special pricing for the equinox spread. So these are some of my most popular offerings of the year, spring or autumn, depending on where you are in the world. I have a special spread that I bring in different elements and decks, and we do an energy check-in for you as you move into this new season. So a bunch of different ways that you can book. Do so before September 1st and get in another entry for that giveaway. There'll be 5 prizes. Okay. So with that, we're moving on over to September. We are taking a theme that is the School of Thought. And we're getting into this back to soul school and talking about the ways in which the things that we have been taught, the things that have been imparted to us through our families, through our cultures, through our experiences, have formed our thought and our belief system, and what we hold to be fact and truth. And so we're kind of taking it back to soul school to take a look at all of those beliefs and whether they still resonate, if this is a class that I'm ready to drop, if I'm looking to pick up some other electives. We're having a lot of fun with it, and I've created a really sacred workbook for you to have with you with the Empowerment Pack this month, to really peel back those layers, journal topics, writing your own thesis, doing a little lab experiment, a soul vocabulary, tarot, custom tarot spread, and more. Resources, there's a whole bunch of goodies packed in there. So would love to share that with you. all as a part of that empowerment pack. Now, we're going to introduce one of the decks this month. I'm feeling called to work with the Crow energy, which is very much tied into transition and change and the energy of 5, which we have been talking about a lot, the in-between, the metamorphosis that we talked about this month of August, from the deep to the leap, and looking at the tadpole to frog cycle and taking that leap of faith. Well, now as we head back to soul school, we're bringing that energy of transition and change, but also the crow is very connected for me into the air element, the throat chakra, the 5th chakra, expression, communication, and more. So I've chosen this series of decks by MJ Cullinane. This is the Crow Tarot. We're going to choose a message here for the weekend collectively, and then we'll pick one of her Urban Crow Oracle messages as well to go with. And then there's several other of her decks that you'll see on my altar when you check out the preview that we will be exploring this month. I'm going to let myself intuitively choose on a weekly basis which of these tarot decks we work with. And then, of course, we also have Equinox. So we've got the Seasons of the Witch, Mabon Oracle coming in this month as well. So can't wait to share all of that with you. Now let's just tune in here for a moment. I'm going to pull 2 tarot cards to know and do here in this energy of transition from August to September, moving through this weekend and into our new theme for the month ahead for eclipse season. So 2 tarot cards. I'm just going to pull one and then pull the other, and then we'll flip them over. Doing this one quick on the fly. 1 to know and 2 to do. Okay. Okay, so we have here 5 of Wands. So speaking of that 5 frequency and the crow energy, we have the 5 of Wands to know, and then to do is justice, which is really perfect because it's bringing in the frequency of number 11, but also the balancing of the scales. You see those scales? And so what feels really perfect about these cards is, we're moving from fiery Leo season where we were all in that element of fire for a good portion of the month. And then, these wands are bringing in that fire, which can bring in sort of a combative, argumentative, competitive energy. You may be familiar with me calling this my stirring the poop card, about stirring up that energy. And it can be a futile use of energy, to getting now more down-to-earth, grounded, practical. Virgo season has rolled in and brought with it now that new moon in Virgo, that first new moon at the 0 degrees of Virgo that we've just come through. And now we're in eclipse season. On the other end is going to be Libra season, those scales, those Libran scales of justice and that energy of balance and restoring order and balance in terms of karmic balancing, but also, again, bringing it into our scholastic theme of, looking at, and I love the especially the lab experiment section of the workbook that I made, where you can put a hypothesis and a test. And we're really looking to balance and looking at those scales, those weights and measures, and see how things are adding up. So, as we're going into this weekend and you're sort of unpacking everything that has been stirred up and come to pass through August, and the areas in which your energy may be futile. We talked last week about the 4 of Pentacles. What are you investing in? And do I want to invest in this any longer? Do I want to participate in this energy? Is this something that I want to continue? Am I getting the return on investment? Those are the types of questions that Virgo wants us to look at, which can bring us into health within our bodies, within our work, and just this sense of restoring some balance and order. So that's sort of a theme that we're riding into September with, knowing that eclipse season and being a major card, number 11, justice, is bringing in that will be balanced, right? Justice will be served. And of course, perspectives and truths of all types, are all filtering in here when we talk about universal truths and ultimate justice in terms of karmic balancing. eclipses are very efficient in creating that type of transformative momentum to get us onto more aligned paths. So these are all things that we'll talk about in the astrological weather for September. We'll definitely be diving deeply into with the empowerment pack. So let's pull our final card. This is going to be to be. So we did to know, to do, and now to be. In this energy, we ask the Urban Crow Oracle for a little message. Little 3-card spread for your weekend, and see what's coming in. So whether you are in a part of all the back to school fun, if you've already done it and you're exhausted and can't wait to sleep in, or it's business as usual for you, like summer what, I get it. Not everybody is in that particular station or season, but I just, bring that energy in here, tapping into it for many of us collectively. But wherever you are, how best to be. So let's see what's coming in here. There we go. Ooh, perfect. Sacred space. So that's what we have created here in tuning in for September, having cleared that altar space, our little nest, that place where we were building that theme of from the deep to the leap throughout August, and brought through so many collective messages, the personal messages that I've delivered to so many of you through your card polls and through our work together, that now I've cleansed and cleared that space. I've reset it for a new month with new energies coming in, and yet we're going back around to coming back home to ourselves and taking a look at, again, what gets the attention and time and energy and focus that's in the nest, and what is outside, and what does it look like in terms of the boundaries that we may be setting or the priorities that we may be putting in place. So sacred space. I want to take a look in the little brief guidebook for the message that came in through the oracle for that card. Sacred space. So it is saying, maybe your sacred space is your home. Maybe it's the beach or your favorite path in the woods. Sacred space may also point to an inner place, a belief that you hold dear. It is a place that brings comfort and nurtures your development. This is your sanctuary. When you receive this card, it is a call to rejuvenate your spirit. It is time to connect with the healing energy of your sacred space. Well, last thought that's tying into that for me is thinking about all of the different places that you have held sacred in your life, whether it is a home that you are now in, a home that you once lived in, a favorite vacation spot, or a special place that you would go for quiet, for meditation, for solace, just your happy place, whatever those things have been and how they have served you throughout the whole of your life. This is what we're talking about in taking a look at these schools of thought and belief and practice that have formed our realities. And sometimes we outgrow those spaces, whether we're talking about, starting from thinking of my daughter, squeezed into that little square dorm room with a roommate and all of their things kind of smushed in there and stacked, and there's just fun and figuring it out. And then thinking about, upgrading perhaps to an apartment someday, or, a larger living space, maybe even your own room, then perhaps someday, settling in somewhere, a place that you call your own. And I remember how with my first home that my husband and I purchased, how quickly we outgrew that space with our little chicks coming into the nest. And, but it holds such a special place in my heart. And so this is the type of respect, the reverence, the appreciation that we have for all of the schools of thought, all of the belief systems that we have participated in or that have helped to shape us, to form us, even if it is time for us to let go, to expand beyond, to move on, to level up from some of those spaces and ways of thinking and believing and understanding and perceiving. That we're bringing ourselves back home to ourselves, which is really beautiful, and that sacred space is within you always, no matter where you are or what's happening outside in the collective or what the popular school of thought may be. So we're going to leave it there. But like I said, I can't wait to explore all of that with you. And there's so much going on. Like I said, equinox, we're going to have pick a card. We'll be tuning in for those energies, but also we have the very potent 999 portal this month as well, because we are talking about being in a 9-year in the 9th month on the 9th day, which is bringing that 999 energy, which is going to be very potent for graduation, for culmination, and for celebrating the energies of the Hermit, the overarching tarot energy for the year. That card 9, Virgo, Hermit energy, coming back into ourselves, to our inner wisdom, our inner light, and then shining that out. So feels really beautiful with these energies that we have here coming in with taking a look at what's been stirred up, balancing out where needed, and coming home to creating that sacred space from within. So have a wonderful weekend. I hope to come in on Sunday, being that it's a holiday weekend and we're gearing up for back to school. We will tune in for our first week of September for our week ahead cards. I will be in touch over on the September Empowerment Sharecast. So meet me over there. And don't forget, if you intend to book with me, even if it's for a future reading that you want to get now, just give me a heads up and let me know before September 1st, Monday, so that I can get those entries into the giveaway for you for the drawing that we'll be doing in the coming weeks. Okay, sending you all much love, many blessings. Thank you for being here. I'll catch you over there, back to Soul School in September.